With 19 days before South Africa votes, the ANC, DA and the EFF shared a stage and spoke to students about their economic policies.
Rethinking Economics for Africa hosted a dialogue aimed at analysing the economic policies of the ANC, DA and EFF. The student body hopes to make economics more accessible to students, workers and the broader public. The ANC said the party's record on women empowerment spoke for itself.
During the first decade of it being in power, we have been consulted, across the globe by several countries, looking at how the ANC-led government had actually developed a framework on gender budgeting. So we've always prioritized women's issues.
The DA spoke about the exploitative nature of the labour conditions in South Africa's past.
We must not allow this to continue. However, we reject politicians who use minimum wages to buy votes. The debate is thus about how best to protect workers from abuse, while also advancing the interests of almost 10 million unemployed South Africans.
And the EFF stressed the need for industrialisation.
When you industrialise, number one, it has to be inward industrialisation. And one of the biggest failures of the current government, post-1994, was the inability to produce things that people use on a daily basis. So when you buy food, for example, the plates we use, cell phones, electronics.
Economists then responded to the party's manifestos.
Nobody seriously thinks that any party other than the ANC has a shot at winning the elections, at least nationally. So it means that the ANC has to be held to a higher standard. We have to expect more from the manifesto. We have to be harsher on the representative of the ANC here, interrogate the manifesto in greater detail and critique it where it's falling short. Opposition parties, on the other hand, they're in a bit of a luxury position. They can promise anything, knowing that they won't be in a position to deliver on those.
The critique was at times bruising and some emotions ran high.
If we as South Africa have to absorb 10 million unemployed people, we need to have an economy that is 2 to 3 times the size of the current economy. And I do not see it in any of these manifestos about how we're going to create a much faster growing economy.
Students who attended the event had mixed views on it.
It was great. I learned a lot.
Some of it is a bit problematic, I'm not going to lie, but I think all in all we got a good view of where we should be heading to, what are the things that we should be thinking about.
What happened in there hasn't really convinced me as a potential voter to change my decision. I registered to vote, but I'm not going to vote because I don't feel represented.
The only thing I would have liked more would have been to have seen a little bit more interaction between the representatives.
Nzinga Kunda, SABC News, Johannesburg.